Pointed. Okay. I'm happy to have you here. Thank you for joining me. And let's take a comfortable seat. So sitting well on your yoga mat, I like to elevate my bum. It takes out the curvature of my lower spine. Taking a soft gaze or closing your eyes, sitting tall, sitting well, squaring your shoulders over your hips, and balancing your head upon your shoulders. I like to take my elbows and put them underneath my shoulders and deciding upon if I need more energy, so I cup my hands, or if I have enough and I turn my palms back down. And listening to my breath. Please inhale and exhale just at your regular pace, not any pranayamic work other than your regular resting breath. Listen to your breath as it is now. Just assess it as it is now. Take note. Notice where you are now. We're going to now expand that breath where we are now, taking that baseline and building upon it. So I would like you to take your hands to your rib cage. So you're going to take your hands to your rib cage. And it's a little bit awkward in that you're putting your thumbs almost in your armpits. But take them at your rib cage, press in, fingers in front, thumbs in back. And I want you to sit tall and then move your hands with your breath. So as you inhale through your nose, broaden your rib cage area into your hands. Exhale through your nose. 5 breaths. Even and equal breathing. As you inhale and exhale, have them be equal in duration to one another. Great job. Wonderful. And then relax your hands by your sides. Good. Lowering your shoulders. Taking your hands even lower to the mat. And I want you to creep your right hand away from your body and inhale your left hand up and over. And go ahead and take a morning stretch. Ugh. Feel the opening of just one side of the rib cage. And then switching sides, walking over, inhale up, reach up and over, expand to the side body, to the rib cage on the other side. Great. This time we're going to do the walking the right side over again, moving your jacket. Inhale up and over, expand the side body, and then take your left hand and bring it down, but keeping your head extending to the right. What this will do is it will create a gap and broaden that gap, expand that gap between your left earlobe and your left shoulder. I like to extend my left arm and fingertips actively to where the floor meets the wall. Breathing into the space that you've created. And then have that arm pull you up. And then take that right hand and steady that head, centering it. Good. We like to take the head out of the equation sometimes and just listen to the body. Creeping the hands up and over, reaching, extending, broadening, breathing, expanding. Taking that right hand, reaching it actively to where the floor meets the wall. Breathing into the gap, into the space. It's essential to be extending with that right hand, to be reaching. When you reach, it allows, I don't know the right words for it, but it creates space while you stretch. Have that right hand pull us up into center line. Left hand centers the head. Good. We're going to elongate our neck by attending to the back of the neck first. Chin to chest. And then chin to right shoulder. Chin to chest. Chin to left shoulder. Chin to chest. Right ear to right shoulder. And then I want you to take your chin to shoulder again. This is more of a diagonal stretch. Focus on relaxing that left shoulder, making sure that it's down. Right ear to right shoulder. Center line. Left ear to left shoulder. Breathing into the space you're creating. Your body will open with time and trust. It's not going to go all the way to the end, but maybe it'll go to level 3. And then as you breathe into the space, it will trust that you're taking care of it. And then it will open up further. Chin to left shoulder. Ear to shoulder. And then center line. Great job. Okay, taking your bolster or block out of the way, pushing it aside. We're just going to windshield wiper our feet, legs, knees, about a little bit broader than mat width distance, opening up and just warming up the lower back, the mid back. One thing that I learned about doing 12 hours of horse work over 4 days and 6 hours of dog haven, dog town, over the last 4 days, is that my back definitely gets worked. It is hard work, but it's lovingly hard work. But I came home and, we would come back to our hotel room and just collapse, feeling the goodness and the hard work of it all. But I was grateful that I had a yoga practice. I can open that back up again. All right, good. Okay, taking seated Baddha Konasana. So I want the soles of your feet together, but we're going to start with the soles of our feet farther away. So I would like you to broaden this diamond. And sitting tall, so you're grabbing the knees, and then I want you to roll your shoulders back so your chest comes forward. And then sitting tall. Good. Drawing in with the belly, sitting tall, crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. Good. Excellent. And then slowly bring your hands towards your ankles, but keeping the tall back. A lot of times people compromise by bending in the lower back to come forward. I want you to focus on having a tall back. Can you keep the tall back? So it's not about the bending forward, it's about the tall back. So I want you to just focus on where your body is today. Again, I could be extra stiff because of the hard work over the last 4 days. But I'm going to listen to what my body says to me today. I can't compare it with last week or last month. My body changes every day. Taking your time and breathing with each micro movement. So as you move forward, you breathe, you listen, you pay attention. It's important to remember that your breath work exists on your back body. So as you expand to the side ribs, you expand also to the back muscles, to the back body, broadening the muscles on your back with each breath. Inhaling up, that was good. That was a good stretch. Okay, coming on to hands and knees, rolling over, meeting us in hands and knees. Again, assessing your hand placement and your knee placement, making sure that you're squaring your body off properly. And go ahead and just take this figure 8 stretch as you open up your hip, lower back, mid back, and you're just kind of lubricating your joints, larger muscles in a figure 8. And if your brain can handle it, reverse that figure 8. There are days that I need to do 2 4s. Arr, arr, arr. Okay, rounding your back, putting space in between each vertebrae. And then extending long. Exhale, rounding back, drawing in with the belly button, pushing down into the mat, extending long. Moving your body with your breath. And moving your breath with your body. Coordinating always your inhalations with your movement and your exhalations with your movement. Rolling over the toes, coming into downward facing dog. Cycling one heel down and then the next, walking the dog. Just pedaling, one heel down, push away with your palms, one heel down, one heel down. Good. Inhale your right leg back, squaring off your hips, so not opening them up, not yet. Squaring your hips, really reaching back with the heel, the flat foot, the bottom of the right foot, reach into the wall. Exhale, bend that knee in and up towards your chest. And go ahead and bring it back. So no planted in between your hands. Listen carefully. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Extend long. This time, I want you to crunch that knee in and up towards your chest. Slowly place it in between your hands. Remembering that there are modifications that you can take with this movement. So let's say you're squaring off here, planting your foot. You can't reach in between your hands. You bring your hands back to that foot, step back with the other foot. Make it easy on yourself. No broken toes in this practice. Okay. Good. Inhale up, crescent lunge. Finding your balance, finding where your foot placement is. Are you on those railroad tracks? Inhale up. Wonderful. Exhale, right arm back. This is like a twisted crescent lunge. Inhale up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale up. Exhale all the way down. Bringing that right leg back. And then bringing this into a three-legged plank. If you want, you can come down into a three-legged chaturanga. Only if you want. You can also come directly into a downward facing dog. You can skip chaturanga altogether. Inhale the left leg, squaring off the hips, bringing that left knee in and up, crunch, extend it long, in and up, extend it long, plant that foot in between your hands, inhale up, twisting it, inhale up, warrior two, inhale up, three-legged plank, chaturanga if you desire, rolling over the toes, downward facing dog. Repeating the process. Crunch, extend, draw in, extend, plant the foot. Inhale up, twist, inhale up, warrior two, inhale up, three-legged plank, crescent lunge, chaturanga. It began with a C. Downward facing dog. Inhale, crunch, inhale, crunch, inhale, plant, inhale, extend up, twist, inhale up, warrior two, inhale up, three-legged chaturanga, if you desire. Last time, crunch, extend, crunch, extend, plant, reach up, twist, reach up, warrior two, move your body with your breath, three-legged chaturanga, or go straight to down dog. Left, crunch, left, crunch, left, plant, inhale up, twist, inhale, warrior two, inhale, three-legged chaturanga. And come down to child's pose. Plant your knees wide, your bum towards your heels, and rest your belly in between your thighs. Pressing your forehead against the mat and breathing into your back body. Really feeling the release, the surrender to the earth. Good job. Breathing onto your back, releasing, broadening your knees if you need to, resting your belly. I'd like you to extend your tailbone down towards your heels. Good. Inhale up into kneeling pose or hero's pose. And we're just going to sit here for a moment, just kind of assessing our breath work, our body, our muscular energy. So how are your large thighs, your large quad, large thighs? Oh my goodness. So let's not open up that can of worms. Your quad muscles, these large quad muscles. So as you expand and extend them and really broaden them in this pose. This is a difficult pose for many people, not just because of the knee joint, but because opportunities to stretch this big muscle is challenging, or people forget about it, or they are never in this pose. As my mom used to say, she says, honey, I get down on the ground, I won't be back up in years. Getting down to the ground, sitting on the ground, being on the ground, in itself can be difficult. So if you want to take this a step farther, and again, it really depends on the day for me, I'd like you to keep your toes pointed back, but bring your heels to the side. Can you plant your bottom in between your heels? Can you have your toes remain pointed back? Sometimes my feet cramp and this just doesn't work. But sometimes it feels fabulous. Opening up the hips, those broad quads. Have your fingertips point back. Point back. Now, all my fifth graders, they just flop into this pose. They just go back. So I'm asking you to not just rely on your flexibility, but to live and breathe in your muscular energy as well. Can you incorporate both features of your body right now as we try to find ease in this seat? Some of you may be like, there is no ease in this seat. Why are we doing this? Well, I'm presenting a challenge. Can you breathe in this pose for maybe one breath longer than you did the last time you were in this pose? Can you wiggle the energy? Can you, without creating, without residing in pain, I don't want you to practice pain, but can you wiggle the energy so it actually becomes a little bit more at ease? Can you do that? Toes are pointed back. Heels are beside your hips. Can your chest and heart reach up towards the ceiling? Can you breathe into your heart space, opening up your hips, inhaling into your heart? Is that possible today? The best thing about a morning practice is that, well, I always look at it this way. My body kind of wakes up in the middle, and then I realize I'm already halfway done, and that's kind of a gift all to itself. The other part is that there's magic that resides in the morning, the early morning hours, and only the people who practice in the morning are aware of it. And it's like a secret. The sun looks different. The sky looks different. The air feels different. My body responds accordingly to all that newness, rebirthing, change. Coming forward, here's where the 5th graders kill me. Okay, so I want you to sit tall. Now can you come forward a little bit? Oh my gosh. Again, they just bloop, flop in. Can you come forward just a little bit more? Can you allow your body to move forward in discomfort only to find comfort? So some of you may be like screaming at home, get me out of this pose. Well, I can't hear you. But listen to your body. If it's needing to get out of the pose, then get out of the pose. But if you can stay in it one breath longer, try that too. Inhale up, long body. Come all the way up and then go onto your left bum and bring your legs out in front. We're going to do some core work now. That was great. You guys did great. I'm very proud of you. All right, come all the way back. You can support yourself by bringing your hands behind your knees and then rock all the way down. Good. Come into this tabletop pose with your legs. So your feet are active, toes are active. Think at the 90 degrees, all the 90s. Taking your hands, weaving them, and then push your head back into the nest, into your hands, into the basket you're creating. Pushing back with the back palate of your head. This allows you to not have your neck do all the core work. We don't want that. Relax your chin, relax your neck, push back into your hands. And then when you come up into this crunch, you are using your upper abdominal muscles. Can you do that? Just crunching up and down, just kind of feeling that work. Wonderful. Now I'd like you to bring that right elbow to your left knee, but extend your right leg. Holding this in space. And then switch inside. We're moving through molasses. We are moving slowly and with intention. Breathing and moving slowly to keep the integrity of the pose, using, again, muscular energy, sustaining your body, using core work. There you go. Bring your legs up towards the ceiling, and again, continue with the elbow to the opposite knee, just having straight legs. I like to keep my head forever from not touching the ground, so it's always resting and hovered, but in my palms. So I don't have it come down to the ground. I keep active legs, active feet, active toes, and I allow my whole body to work in sync with one another. Now I'm going to drop one leg, keeping with the core work. So if you've noticed, we haven't stopped at all. But we're continuing to do the core work. And movement. In a flow. Great. Keep working. Keep moving. All right, now I'd like you to release the head down. Feel your upper abdominal muscles. Feel the breath entering into your core space. And then we're going to take your hands to the side by your hips, and you're just going to come up like you're reaching to grab something on the other side of the room. And again, this is not a neck up. This is a crunch up or abdominal work using your hands. Now, I'd like you to just extend with your left, extend with your right, extend with your left, right, left, right, and then reach up, right. So I am crossing my hands to the opposite foot, extending up. While my one hand is reaching up towards the outer edge of my foot, the other hand is reaching to the far wall. I'm also exhaling when I lift up, when I crunch. Inhaling when I come back. Good. Now both hands reach up, 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 and then resting the back palate of my head. Good job. Okay. This next part, I want you to create like this diamond with your fingers and thumb. And I want you to support your lower back. And we're going to reach long with our toes active. And we're not going to touch the ground. And then inhale, up. Exhale, slowly down. Inhale, up, slowly down. Inhale, up, slowly down. If you want to take this a step farther, go ahead and bring your head and shoulders off the ground. Slowly down. If you'd like to do Pilates feet, then you bring your toes out, your heels together, down. Down. Move slowly and with your breath. Good. Now I'd like you to just go up and down. You can have your head on the ground as you do this. Your heels never touch the ground, but your head can. Then you can bring your head and shoulders off the ground if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more. Make sure you're breathing with your movement. So as you lower, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Draw in with your belly as you elongate that muscle. So as you lower your heels down, draw in with your belly. Good. 5 more times, lowering, raising. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one. 5. Excellent work. Nice job. Bringing your heels to hip distance, and then I'd like you to touch your Achilles tendon with your fingertips. We're going to come into bridge pose to oxygenate our core that we've worked so well. So pressing down with your triceps, making sure you have the robot arms, pushing down and up. Rolling the shoulders underneath as you go, pressing down with your big toes, pressing down with your triceps. Making sure that you've created and keep a space behind your neck. Inhaling your hips up, breathing into the belly. Good. At least 2 full rounds of breath into your belly. Exhale all the way down. Hugging your knees in towards your chest and just creating this circular motion with your knees, lubricating your lower back, pressing down, just feeling your hips. Reverse the circle, thanking your body for being so strong. You know, it pays attention, it listens. So you got to give it positive reinforcement. Okay, happy baby. Outer edges of your feet, bringing the knees in towards the armpits, lowering that tailbone down towards the ground, elongating the spine. You could rock side to side. I always like to say, rock the baby, don't wake the baby. So be gentle with your body as you move in this pose. Bringing the right knee in towards your chest, elongate that left leg, hovering it just above the ground, extending long, opening up that hip flexor, bringing this right knee down into the right armpit. This is a great hip opener. It also allows gravity to work with your body rather than against. I mean, gravity does enough, right? So you might as well let it work for you once in a while. Switching out legs, outer edge, left knee into left armpit. Extend long with the right leg, hover. Elongate that hip flexor, that leg, keeping an active foot, pointing with that heel. Hug both knees into the chest, and let's take a spinal twist. I like to inhale my hips up, pivot them to the right side of my mat, have my knees come up towards my chest, and then to the left. Shoulders are square, overlooking the opposite, looking in the opposite direction of my knees. So my gaze is over my right shoulder. My knees are to my left. Breathe into the side body. Breathe 5 breaths into your side belly. After your 5th breath, hug both knees into your chest. Good. And then lift your hips up, pivot them to the left side of the mat, knees fall to the right, shoulders on the mat, overlooking your left shoulder. Five breaths into the side belly. After your 5th breath, hug your knees into your chest again. We're going to come into a figure 4, just opening up one more time those hips, but in a gentler sort of way. So you create this figure 4. So your right ankle comes to your left knee, and you just allow it to open up gently in this area, just opening up that right inner thigh. Good. And if you wanted to take this a step farther, then you thread your right hand in between that gap. You can clasp your hands to the belly of your left thigh, pushing your right elbow against the inner thigh, pushing that knee away. If you want to take this even a step farther and you feel like your body is warm enough, go ahead and straighten that bottom leg. You could grab opposite hand to foot and bring that foot in. If you want to take it a step further, both hands. This also opens up the lower back. So, excuse me, I've got like a frog in my throat now. But flex the flexed foot. I don't sickle at this point. I don't point at this point. I keep it flexed. So as I bring the leg in towards my body, I'm keeping a flexed foot. I also like to rock side to side in this pose. And then go ahead and switch out legs. You could bring both feet down to the ground and then start gently. Each side will respond differently than its counterpart. So reminding yourself that you're not symmetrical and that you need to respect the pose as it is on either side of your body. Gently opening up your body, your hip flexor, perhaps bringing that leg in, using your elbow as a prop to keep that thigh opening, flexing both feet. You can rock side to side if you'd like. If you want to take it farther, opposite hand to outer edge of foot. In addition to this being a hamstring stretch and a hip flexor stretch, it is a lower back elongation, but you do this with ease. Release. One more time, windshield wiper. And then I want you to take a pose of your choice. So for you, it can be an inverted pose, like a candlestick, where you're bringing your feet up and over and reaching them up towards the ceiling, supporting your hips. Or plow pose, just being mindful to lift your chin. This is a great opening of the back. But I'd like you to take at least 10 breaths in whatever pose that you can. So in your inversion, take at least 10 breaths in that. Or if you're combining inversions, even if you're going into a headstand, you can take 5 here and 5 there, but I just want you to take 10 breaths in some form of inversion pose of your choice. After your 10th breath, I want you to come into your final resting pose. And for you, that can be a seated position. It could be a lying on your back position. You can elevate your knees or your upper thighs. I want you to feel the gravity of your body against the earth, and then the earth supporting your body, always supporting your body. Feeling all the parts of your body making contact with the earth, scanning your body, being aware of each part, each pressure point. Breathe into any specific area that's causing stress, duress, strain. Breathe into that area, even if it's your heart or your mind, and then release it with your breath. Blow it out. Sometimes a cleansing breath through your mouth is the best breath. If it consists and persists, then continue to breathe into that spot and then blow it out. Breathe into that spot, blow it out. Doesn't serve a purpose, so why hold on to it? Inhale, exhale. Finding your final resting pose, Shavasana. Deepening your breath. Let your next exhalation be longer and deeper than the last one. Begin physically adjusting, moving your body, wiggling fingers, toes. Slowly rolling over to your side body, and then feeling the difference of that pose as compared to the one previous. Pushing down into the ground, slowly coming into a seated position. Sit tall, sit well. Take a soft gaze or close your eyes altogether. Inhale through the crown of the head, long. Exhale through your sits bones, deep. Keeping the elongation of your spine. Inhale up, exhale down. Coordinate with your movement of your hands. Inhale up, press the palms in towards each other, exhale down into your heart. 2 more times, inhaling up, exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling down. Pressing your thumbs into your heart broadens, bowing into your fingertips, being grateful for all the things that are in your life. Showing gratitude towards the simplest of items and gestures and feelings. Thank you for joining me this morning. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Namaste.